Hi. So, I know in my last video, I know you guys heard me mention that our children does not have a pediatrician. So I want to explain and tell you guys why and what we do, right? So for some people that doesn't know this, when I was pregnant with him, I made the decision not to get a OBG. And so I wasn't looked at down there. I didn't get any testing done. Uh, the whole 9 yard. I didn't take prenatal pills, nothing like that, right? No ultrasounds. And after, yes, I did have a midwife. Half of my pregnancy, I did. The first half, I did not. I just had the support from my family, and we eventually got a midwife later on. But anyway, so after I had him is when I got blood work done, and I was able to see everything that I needed to work on. What I was low on, what was too high, stuff like that, right? And then it just dawned on me, like, I don't know why I didn't think about this before. Every time you go to the doctor, you get blood work done. So a doctor can't say they don't know what's wrong with you. They can't say that they don't know what you need to work on to make sure you're not falling off. More like they tell you what you can take care of before something happens, right? So I'm thinking like, we always go to the doctor. We always get the blood work done. The doctors only talk to you about the things that you have went in for, but they know so much more, right? So I'm just like, there's just no point when you got that blood work. It's just you just know it all, right? So what is the need for them? What is the need, especially if you have the resources to handle whatever those issues may be? So because I do, I know I'm like, okay, boom, just cut out the middleman. So this is our daughter first year without a doctor. Um, our son never has had one. Has he seen a doctor? Yes, he has. Um, but another reason why I made the decision, and before I even brought this to my husband's attention, these are all the things that's running through my mind, right? And I remember when my daughter would always go to the doctor. If anybody know her story, know I was in and out, in and out, in and out. And then when I made the decision to stop using their medicine and caring for my child their way and going the holistic route, she was doing a lot of detoxing. So when you detox, a lot of things come to surface. And I don't know how every doctor's office do it, but if you went to Beacon Pediatric on Bristol Street, you know that they do this. You call them, you talk to a nurse, they say, what's wrong with your kid? How long has this been happening? Have you done anything? And if you did, what happened afterwards, right? So I would call so much, not for me, but for other people, peace of mind. And it got to the point where the doctor was annoyed because they would ask me all those questions. I would answer them. They're like, okay, mom, you're doing great. You don't need to come in. So plenty of times I tried to get my daughter seen, but they said no, it was no need because what I was doing was working, which it was. So by the time I called them, my child was perfectly fine or improving. So I remember the last time I ever spoke to them, the last time I ever called them, um, the nurse was like, if dad or any other family member has a problem, tell them to call me because you're doing everything. And because she was like, why are you keep calling? And I'm like, it's not for me. It's not. It's for them because they didn't trust what I was doing. And I know what it looked like, but what I didn't understand was how could anyone be upset or worry when she was always improving every day. So that is what I didn't get. Um, so because of all that, that is also why I'm where I'm at today and why I made the decision. I'm like, there's no point. She hasn't seen a doctor in a long time for something like that. Um, Now, have she seen a doctor in the last couple of years? Yes, she has. Because we had an incident last year with the bug bite, and I'm like, whoa. But I also handled that as well, but she still got seen. Just for me to say I knew what I was talking about, kind of thing. But anyway, that was it. But yeah, so that is the reason why we decided to not do a doctor. Now, when he was born, we did try to get them a doctor because we just moved to a different state and we weren't worried about a doctor at the time when we first moved here last year. So we were like, okay, when our son is born, we're going to make sure both of them get a doctor. Let's just do it at one time. But then we had a couple places lined up. The first one was like, you have to get your kids vaccinated, and if you don't, then you're just killing your kid. And we're just like, oh, okay, this is just not it because our daughter is vaccinated but not fully. Our son only has the vitamin K. And as y'all see, my baby is perfectly fine and healthy, okay? But anyway, um, so we went to a second one and they said that they don't take cash. And I'm like, who doesn't take cash? So I'm all about third time is a charm. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to wait on that. So we were thinking like maybe when he's one, then we will probably get them a doctor. But as of right now, since we are wanting to be more hands-on and taking our health journey to a different level than what we have done before, we want to wait on it. And so right now we are doing a detox. I am not doing this particular one, but I got my husband and our daughter on a parasite cleanse, and they're detoxing their blood. I'm detoxing my blood too, and we are building up our iron. So dismiss if you see my face looking a mess, because it will show up. But we are also replacing certain foods and adding in certain foods and being more consistent with certain things. So my husband and I already got our blood work done, but we are going to get the kids done and ours done again in a few months, because I'm curious to see where we are at. Now I have a few equipment at home to where I can check a couple of things. So I already have an idea of where my daughter is at, and I'm so impressed. And I'm really surprised, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm just curious. And we do a lot of experiments, if you want to call it that, where we do a 30-day, we just did one. We did a 30-day CMOS. We had 3 ounces a day. And we did it for 30 days, and we were consistent with it, and we drank plenty of water, and we were consistent with the food we were eating and our other teas. And that just was an eye opener for us. And we checked our sugar, our iron, our pH, our vitals, something else I forgot, but it's just exciting to see where we were before and then where we're at now. So, and we're in the process of doing the whole cleansing thing right now. So that is why we are making that decision to just do things ourselves. And I know some of you are like, that's dangerous and you're going to get your baby sick, blah, blah, blah. But you should ask yourself, why are you in the doctor's office every week or every month? And why are you on this and this medication? Or you're constantly getting an antibiotic, and all that stuff is just destroying your organs anyway, slowly but surely. So don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. But anyway, this is why we decided to do this. And throughout time, we will show you what we do if something comes up. And if anybody ever have questions, feel free. But anyway, peace.